Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about some NBA news. So I'm gonna do, I just wanted to update my video schedule for now. I'm gonna do the two NASCAR races, and I'm gonna do the truck race review and the ARCA review, and then the SmackDown review night for wrestling. So I just wanted to get this NBA news out, because the race starts in like, what, 20-30 minutes, so let's get into it. So first thing I'm gonna talk about is Shams. He was on the Pat McAfee show today, and you know, Klay Thompson, he's been struggling this year, probably having the worst season of his career. He's been put on the bench now, hopefully performs better for us, but besides the point, he was on the Pat McAfee show today, and he said this, end quote, I would expect both Florida teams, both LA teams, to show interest. He's going to test the marketplace, period, end quote, Shams Charania on Klay Thompson. So it looks like Shams is basically saying, oh, the two Florida teams, both LA teams, are going to show interest. I think he's going to test the marketplace. But if nobody's going to want him, then he might go back to the Warriors on a short contract. And people are like, oh, why would the Clippers want Klay Thompson? He's close friends with PG and Kawhi. I mean, maybe he just wants to chase another ring there. But he could be a vet minimum, possibly. And maybe hate culture brings the best out of shooters. Maybe he's the kind of player both teams will be looking for. He could be a good six-man at this point in his career. But I definitely think both at Florida and LA teams will show interest. Will they want him? I don't know. There's a possibility he could come back to the Warriors on like a short contract. I don't know. So Patrick Beverley said on RTRS podcast, he says the biggest difference between the Sixers and the Milwaukee Bucks is that in Milwaukee, and quote, everybody wants to win, and it's quote, not about stats. I mean, this dude, man, Patrick Beverley. I mean, you just lost to the worst assembled professional basketball team of all time, it feels like. Well, not even worst. I shouldn't say worst, but well, that roster is not good. You just lost to a team that has like 18 wins in the Memphis Grizzlies without some of their best players. It's funny how once Patrick Beverley leaves his previous team, he always has something to say. Always on a team saying how it's the best / home till you get straight every 4 months and it's time to repeat. I mean, the Sixers, while completely depleted and missing their entire team, has looked better than the Bucks fully healthy, by the way, Mr. Beverley. In that game, you were 0 for 4. 1 point! What a talk for a guy with 1 point last night. In that, loss. He'll trash Milwaukee when he leaves too. He does the same shit. So, Trey Mano's Instagram caption, remember he was on the Thunder, got traded to the Hornets? Well, he put his Instagram caption, end quote, stayed calm through the Thunder. Man, he's on SGA's flow with the captions. You are not SGA, buddy. He thinks he's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Corny. So, Mikal Bridges, on the Roommate Show podcast, said he confessed the Phoenix Suns underestimated the Milwaukee Bucks in the finals. End quote. We over here like, man, it's light. It's the East. How the hell do you underestimate Giannis Antetokounmpo? Why would you ever admit this to a fucking podcast? Why would you just admit this? Like, oh yeah, we underestimated them. Man, this is probably that's probably now the most fraudulent team to make the finals. You're destined to lose with that mindset, like, oh yeah, it's the finals. These guys are, they're from the Eastern Conference, they're easy. I mean, you can't just underestimate somebody in the finals. But why would you fucking admit this? So via the Greg Hill Show, a camera crew has been following the Boston Celtics all season, filming a multi-part documentary series similar to, end quote, The Last Dance. Period. Eyes emoji. documentary for a super team that's gonna lose in the second and third round. No, I'm just joking. But this Celtics thing's been really good, really fun to watch this year. I mean, I'm kind of glad they're doing more of these like documentary series. I think a lot of people watch it, or maybe not a lot of people watch it. I think some people will watch it. I'm not gonna say, oh, I really playoff X until it happens. Like, yeah, they've choked last few years, but I mean, I think this team's better than those previous Celtics teams. NBA.com's updated MVP ladder: 1, Nikola Jokic; 2, SGA; 3, Giannis Antetokounmpo; Luka Doncic at 4, Jason Tatum at 5, a tie at 6 between Kawhi Leonard and Domantas Sabonis; 8, Donovan Mitchell; Kevin Durant at 9, and Anthony Davis at 10. Luka should be higher than Giannis right now. Luka should honestly should be at least number 2, if not number 1. That's just my opinion, though. So Shaquille O'Neal says the Milwaukee Bucks are on track for another first-round playoff exit. He's 100% right. That's why it's when you hire Doc Rivers. Good take from a Shaq. The way this Bucks team's playing right now, they'll be a first-round exit. And they're now 3-7 in the Doc Rivers era. It's not good. Damian Lillard is the favorite to win the three-point contest at plus 450 odds. Malik Beasley and Tyrese Halliburton at plus 550. Trae Young, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson at a plus 600. Lauri Markkanen at a plus 650. And Donovan Mitchell at a plus 700. The man with the worst three-point percentage is somehow the favorite. Pendale Face. So, per report, remember when I talked about Isaiah Stewart punching Drew Eubanks? Well, apparently, Drew Eubanks, quote, barely flinched after Isaiah Stewart punched him in the face and stood there stone cold. And you know what to do, TMZ, get that video out. And he just stood there stone cold. I mean, if you're punching dudes before the game, then yeah, it kind of shows you're soft. That's all from NBA Central. See anything from Shams Charania. Yesterday, free agent Danilo Gallinari finalized the deal with Milwaukee Bucks. He considered several teams, including like the Clippers, Cavs, and Bulls, but he chose the Bucks. So I guess where he wants to have a role with Doc Rivers. But it's all from Shams Charania. The Washington Wizards guard DeLon Wright has agreed on a contract buyout, clearing the way for him to sign with the Miami Heat upon clearing waivers. His agent Greg Lawrence tells ESPN they're a dependable veteran for the Heat's rotation. That's a good fit for the Heat defensively. I think it's a good fit for him defensively. The Blazers have signed center Dupe Reith on a new 3-year contract. I think it's well deserved. Good basketball player, so I think it's a good move for the Blazers signing him to a full-time contract. Or sign the two-way player on a 3-year standard NBA contract. But yeah, it's really all to say here for the NBA. So until next time, peace.